Did you know that you can actually speak Spanish by speaking English? Hola, bienvenidos y bienvenidas. Welcome to this new How to Learn Spanish with Worlds Across. My name is Juan. Stop the clapping. And today we have a very special video because we're going to talk about crosstalk. What the heck is crosstalk? Does it really help? How does this thing help my Spanish learning journey? Is this just for purists or for people who have a lot of knowledge in language acquisition? Let's find out. So let's start from the beginning. What is crosstalk? What is this term that sounds like so elegant? Crosstalk is basically when you have a conversation with a native Spanish speaker of the language you are trying to learn, right? And this person, let's assume Franco here that is behind the camera. This person whose native language is, in this case, Spanish, because I'm trying to learn Spanish, he would talk to me in Spanish, right? I'll receive his input, and I'll basically reply in my mother tongue, in my native language, if my mother language was English, right? It's not. But I would reply in English, right? So he would say something like, "Hola Juan, ¿cómo estás?" And I would reply like, "Hey, I'm fine, and you?" He would keep like this interaction in Spanish, me replying in English. Very simple, right? That's the basic theory of crosstalk. But you may be wondering, Juan, does this really help my language learning journey? Like, does it really help me speak Spanish? That's a good question. And well, basically it depends, right? Because we know that learning a language is a process. And one of the biggest steps of this process is gaining confidence, because it's a new language. Sometimes we're a little bit shy. Sometimes when we try to reply in this case in Spanish, we'll feel like, no, my Spanish is not enough. I'm speaking so slow, or I'm making a lot of mistakes. The first step, like to overcome this fear of failure, or to help your confidence, is to basically feel comfortable. And how you feel comfortable, like it's an obvious answer. Like, you would feel comfortable replying in your own language, right? That's basically it. I know that it might be feeling like a failure. I know that like you could be thinking like, oh no, I'm just speaking English. But especially if you're a beginner, this is a great way to gain confidence and to receive a lot of input, to gain vocabulary. It's not a failure, it's part of the process, and you're gaining a lot from this interaction. Now, you know me. I'm not a purist. I'm not this kind of guy like you should do this for 1,000 hours, or it's whatever suits you best, right? But definitely it is a great tool, and I've witnessed this. It is a great tool, especially for beginners. But what if you're an intermediate level or advanced level learner? Maybe you don't feel like speaking Spanish that day, but basically you'll receive a lot of input, you'll receive a lot of vocabulary, will be practicing your Spanish without feeling like uncomfortable. Sometimes there are days like the words they just don't come out, but you can actually use crosstalk even in your intermediate level or advanced level. But remember, crosstalk is a tool. It's a way to reach conversational level in Spanish. It's a way to reach your objectives. Eventually, you will have to speak Spanish, right? But again, it's a process. And you may be wondering, Juan, why should I do crosstalk instead of just receiving input? Well, I'm going to quote this specialist, Steve Kaufman. He's an expert in language acquisition. And he basically says that the input shouldn't only be comprehensible, but also compelling and meaningful. What do we mean by this? Basically, you remember when you were learning how to ride a bike, right? And you fell off your bike, right? It hurt. It hurt a lot. But at the end, you learned how to ride a bike. It's very different, like your dad telling you this is how you ride a bike, and drawing a plan for the bike. That's very different from actually riding the bike and getting hurt. You identify patterns, you're aware of your mistakes. Think about this little one learning how to ride a bike. I get hurt, but I identify how to bend my legs, how to basically grab the handle. Think about that for a second, okay? My brother, on the other hand, just talked with my dad about the theory of learning how to ride the bike, and till this day he doesn't know how to ride a bike. So, muy bien, sigamos. Now, how to start? Well, that's a great question. And you can start easily with the neighbor that moved years ago from a Spanish speaking country who basically is a native Spanish speaker. Reach out to him or her and ask him or her to talk to you in Spanish. You will reply in English. Crosstalk there, right? You can also use apps like Tandem or HelloTalk to find a partner who is willing to basically do crosstalk with you, right? And you can find them like from all over the world. You can use social media like Reddit, Discord. There are communities all over the internet that are like very engaged and involved with this type of learning method. Go there and see it for yourself, okay? I know it could be a little bit tricky, could be a little bit hard finding the right partner because again, Tandem, HelloTalk, like all over the world. But a person who is as committed as you are in this learning process could be challenging, right? Think about this for a second. And there are like couples, like people who are married with Spanish speakers and they want to practice their Spanish, and basically everything ends up in a big argument. And normal, it's normal. But here we have the MVP, right? Worlds across tutors are trained to do crosstalk, and it's basically our everyday as part of our service. So you can try us out, right? Well, guys, to sum up, if you think you have this profile, right? Like you're a beginner, you're a little bit shy, you don't feel the confidence to start speaking Spanish right away, and grammar is not your thing, then you should try crosstalk. Definitely. I've seen a lot of success stories doing crosstalk and I highly recommend this. Okay? Well, but tell me guys, have you ever done crosstalk before? What tools have you used? Tell us all about it in the comments. And of course, if you like this video, click the subscribe button, click the like, me gusta, me gusta, me gusta. And of course, I'll see you in the next How to Learn Spanish with Worlds Across video. Adios!